Okay, now we can start. It's funny at the new year, there's always little glitches, little things that just changes last minute for whatever reason. Just bear with me so I can fix the screen here. Okay, wonderful. Well, yes, you can see the background's a little different. So I'm using the high def camera with, well, set Tammy tomorrow, actually. And
What are you saying? I
so
look bad? No.
no. It's just that I have this like super Sony kind of thing, and I have this 3D kind of thing behind me, and we got to set you up with the same setting. But Happy New Year, everybody. And it's a real pleasure to initiate our calls. In fact, tonight we have an important call, or this morning, if you happen to be different parts of the world. And I wanted to acknowledge that. And if you're joining us on Facebook Live, it's always a pleasure. I'm hoping that it's actually working because I got an error message, but no, we're live. Okay, we're good. Um, as I was saying, so if you're joining us on Facebook Live, we just always welcome you here, and we welcome your feedback and comments as always. Same thing here. If you see or hear something that resonate with you on the back end here on Zoom, please feel free to share. Demi and I, we want to talk about what we're planning to do, and I'm actually really impressed with some of the things that Tammy has organized for all of you. It's extremely important, and those of you who participate will benefit from that. And we'll share with you a little bit of the protocol, but also I wanted to um, to initiate with a little bit of a beginning to get a little bit of a reminder on our industry. But the key here is to really grow your business. Whatever business you focus on, tonight we're focusing on Max International. As a matter of fact, right after this call, I have a call with Joe Wojtecki. There's something that he's planning, and stay tuned for the announcements either on Telegram or Facebook Messenger. I try to cover both groups so we can reach as many folks as we can, and there's going to be some interesting things and projects that are coming about. So stay tuned for that. Also, before we begin, Tammy, before I pass this over to you to talk about what we're covering here today, I just wanted to mention everyone. Let me just share my screen once again. Okay. Voila. Okay, so I'd like to just to point out that we have a new group, or let me rephrase that. We basically recycled a group that we had, which is it's a product group. This one is not private. This one is public. And we'll come back to the switch in a minute here. And this is the glutathione, which are three products that actually will promote the precursors to elevate the glutathione. And again, this is here for you. And I highly recommend you take advantage of this group and you start posting your stories, your experiences, your product experiences. Just always remember to be mindful of what to say and how to say it when we talk about our technology. As you know, the FTC and the regulators are very tight on what we can and cannot say. And I know many of you, in fact, all of you here have been trained very well on be careful on what to say and not use names of diseases in your sentences as you share your experience as you start elevating glutathione. We understand how this product is and how important that is. I really wish that we would have done that years ago, but now it's done. It's here. Okay. So we have already members that are in here, and I really do recommend that you participate. Try to really make an effort to maybe at least once a week come here and post something about the Celgivity, the Max 1, or the Max GXL. On the other hand, we also have the MetaSwitch. Now, the MetaSwitch is part of a 90-day program that we started in December. Now, this group is private. Why? Because it's a bit more sensitive, right? Some folks might be a bit more sensitive to share some things, knowing that it's public. They may not be as comfortable sharing. Excuse me. But so this group is private, but the Celgivity is public. Now, if I see that there's a lot of things that could have issues with the FTC or anything like that, that I may turn out to make that private. But I know that we're dealing with a group that's very responsible here, and as you share your stories, but it's really important that you do that. It will support your business. It will support your downline if you have one, if you have a group underneath you. It will also support your clients. This is a safe place where you can bring your clients in and you can hear about others. You can ask questions. You can share some things. And many of you are using the Now site. As you know, it's just amazing how the AI is mixed with the verbiage and your verbiage and your style of communicating. If you utilizing this tool, if not, let us know. We'll make sure that you can have your account. I think we have a 30-day free with this thing, but it's absolutely phenomenal. Tammy and I have seen some amazing results, and I've seen some people that are really participating in comments coming from that environment. It's pretty amazing, actually. So just wanted to start with that. And let me just put that aside and go back to the topic of our call. And at this point,
If I could just add to that, Chris,
yes, go ahead.
The switch 90-day program, obviously we're doing this right now. We're driving momentum through that, bringing customers. The switch products will be in very shortly. So make sure that anybody you brought into the program, because I've already brought people into the program, and they went on back order. I think it was the month after. So the products are coming. So make sure that everybody's staying on the switch, and they wait, and as soon as they get it, they start from scratch again.
In
doing
fact,
their 90
all the
days.
products
So
are getting delivered
a little
now.
bit longer.
Yeah, all the products are getting delivered right now. I know that in Canada, we're at a week. Usually it's 2 weeks from when it starts delivering in the US to Canada, but a week went by. So I believe that within a week, you're all going to be receiving your Celgivity. This is an important product. And one thing I wanted to mention on this note, I was actually listening to one of our investors that Tammy and I do business with, and he was saying, in the real estate, in the low times, if you can survive the low times, this is the time where you can really find some wonderful deals and reinvest. And then at this point, you can really, in the good times, you can really redefine your assets. In this business, maybe it's a bit of a different context, but those of you that are sticking around, that are consuming your products, that are being patient with the situation that we're dealing all over the world, not Max International, folks, the entire world. And we all know that. This is not news. Those of you that are persevering, that are in a position to explain what's going on, knowing that the products are always delivered, we know that. I'm telling you, there will be there will be times where things are going to thrive again. And I can tell you this, and why do I know this? It's because Max International is one of those companies that has a product that people need. People need. And we know, trust me, we know how these products are in demand. So all you need to do is keep talking about it. Don't worry about folks that left. It's all good. Trust me, they'll come back as customers. But the fact is, if you keep sharing and you keep talking, that's what we want to talk about here today, you will rebuild. And this is exactly what Tammy and I are doing. And we're starting the month of January very, very aggressive. And you can take part of it. And if you do, you will benefit. So Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you to just kind of start the call over. Go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously we want to skyrocket our businesses and to 10x growth in the next 30 days. That's the big focus. I'm hoping that the conversation that Chris has with Joe was what we were going to ask for the month of January to add on to what we're doing as a 30-day run in this. And that this is all about new business, you guys. If we want to get to any level, we got to start bringing in new business. And if you do that in the next couple years, everything's going to change, because what goes down always goes back up. And it's just about being patient through the process and riding through the tough times. But through those tough times, I have to admit, Chris, that we've learned a ton of skills through these tough times that we wouldn't have learned or wouldn't have taken the time to learn had we had been continually traveling like we were traveling. So I'm grateful. Not that things, that situations happen, but we were able to expand our knowledge and skills on social media, through the platforms, email marketing stuff that we're up to now. And I know some of you were in Mexico. I was looking at those pictures, you guys. We had such a great time when we went for the kind of, I guess we did our own landing pre-launch with just a few of us. And just to have that great experience together. And Chris sat down with everybody that night, and everybody had a Facebook campaign out there in the local market. So there's so many skills that we've all learned, and we must be grateful, honestly, for all these things, and focus on the good rather than the bad, right? 2023 is done, it's over, let it go, and let's move forward. That's the way we build. And I was listening to a gentleman this week, and I don't follow too many people because I don't have a lot of time to do that. But this one guy in particular, he's quite sharp in the industry for a long time. But he was talking about 2024 and the highest paying professions in 2024, according to the US news: doctors, pilots, and network marketers. Imagine, that it's being shared out there. So I think it's totally awesome. It's an incredible profession for the average person. I call myself an average person who have made decisions 20, whatever, I forget how many years now, it's been so long, that, I wanted to be a professional in the network marketing space. And that has totally changed everything. And if you look at doctors and pilots, I mean, they're always going to make great money, but let's face it, most people can't afford to start up. Can't afford the cost, number one, which is massive, 91K to 157K and up for their trainings. They would have to give up a job because they'd have to be able to study full time. That means their spouse would have to step up in their game, and there would be a lot of stuff going on in the household. 4 years for a pilot, 10 to 14 years for a doctor. Where network marketing, obviously you choose. Most people will come in and they're not going to give up their careers. They're going to come in and they're going to do it part-time. And the best thing to do is serious part-time. So you build your lifestyle up through your profits. And when your profits are bigger than your wages, then some people like us had made decisions to, I literally sold my traditional business. Chris walked away from the corporate world and came into this profession full time, and we have not looked back. It's been an incredible ride, and I would never go back and get a job. I would do whatever it takes to make it happen, to stay focused in network marketing, because it's such a great profession. So we're really going to focus on skyrocketing, you guys. If you're serious about making a change in 2024, it's time to let go and take that big step up and 10x it in the next 30 days. Because the only way to go into momentum, and Chris and I have learned that over many years, is we always go into momentum when we go into a campaign, when we go into a drive, when we go into a 90-day segment. 90 days are awesome, but most people, they start falling off way too early in the game. But if you can do 30-day segments, people are more excited. So we're going to stick to the 30 days. Okay. And
Totally
sorry
agree.
about my throat here. You want me
Not to
to?
be sorry, Tammy. We've kind of, let's face it, we just both came out of a pretty nasty cold. I know that Linda and you guys went through it too, Mary Paul, and probably most of you here. Man, it was just, I couldn't shake it off. But now things are doing well. I mean, I'm really grateful. In fact, our cell GVD just arrives, and oh, thank God, thank God. And
Yay.
boom, things are just catching up really quickly. Um, but folks, the question I'd like to ask you here, and that's an interactive question. And by the way, I posted two links there. These are the two groups. If you're not part of those groups, I really recommend that you ask to be part of this group. The AT Glutathione, I put the word active team in front of it because, of course, glutathione was not available, but AT Glutathione was. And the other one is AT Mega Switch, which again alone was not available. So at that point, make sure that you click on those and plug in and start contributing, folks. It's really, really important. I'm telling you. But let me ask you, this is a really important question. If you continue doing what you did in 2023, will your business skyrocket or even grow this year? So put a yes or a no in the chat. If you happen to be on Facebook Live, I'm asking you the same question. Put a yes or a no in the chat. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate the time. And I appreciate honesty here, guys, because you see, these are things that we need to recognize. And that's why tonight's call is so important, right? This is day one, if you matter speaking, of our very first call of the year. And we want to start it with an opportunity for you to really embark and start January strong, right? Because for things to grow, we need to grow, right? For things to get better, we need to get better. Tammy, would you agree? I'll pass over to you.
Absolutely. I mean, we continuously work on ourselves, and that's never going to change because the world is evolving, and you guys are all seeing it just in the last, how many years? 3-4 years? It's been crazy. And, at my age, I know some of you can relate. It's like, oh, another thing to learn. But we got to stay in the game. We got to stay active in the game, or we're going to get left behind. And I don't want to get left behind in business. I want to be able to evolve, right? And to be an example. I'm always about being example to our kids and our grandkids. I think that's really, really important, is to set that example in every way, in mindset, in posture, in finances, in creating that. If you're not willing to do it for yourself, think about your grandchildren or kids. That's a different mindset right there. If you're not willing to do it for yourself, to wake up tomorrow morning and do whatever it takes for you, do it for the next generations. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be really tough. So Chris and I have always like, oh my gosh, we gotta build for the next generation. That's why we don't slow down. Maybe we should slow down a little bit, but we don't, because we keep thinking about what way we're going to be able to leave behind.
The legacy.
The legacy, and creating that financial abundance. Real estate is a very, very big focus for us, is to have assets for them to be able to not sell when we pass away, but to be able to continue on and having this passive income coming in through rentals, right? So that's our big, big, big goal. You have to have a big goal. Your vision has to be absolutely huge for you to get up tomorrow morning, regardless whether you want to get up at these hours. I'm telling you, I got up for the first time, getting up super early. I got comfortable in 2023. I was one of those people that I don't want to be where I am in 2024 and 2023. I'm just calling it out and saying what as it is. And so to be able to do that, we need to run, and we need to run at a different pace. We got to get up a little bit earlier, even if we don't feel like it. Just hop in the shower, wake yourself up, do whatever it takes, jump up and down a few times, and just get on these 7 a.m.s and just spend 1 hour of constant talking to new people. You want to grow your business?
Hey, Tammy,
New people.
I wanted to piggyback on something you talked about when you talk about retirement. And this is something really important. I know I touched on it last year on our last call at one point, might have been the last couple. One of those calls is, it's not about how much money you make in network marketing. It's how much are you retaining? And this is something that really hit me hard when we had our session with Eric. Is everybody's focusing on making the millions and everything else, and of course we all thrive for that. But the reality is the compounding effect. This is why I'm not saying that RRSPs are the greatest investments. It's just an example of compounding, right? You put a little bit, little bit, and eventually there's hundreds, sometimes millions of dollars in there that if you invested that, again, I'm not getting into the details here, but you didn't put all this money in one shot. It was just compounding over the years, interest increasing. My point here is network marketing. You can look at that the same way. And that's why I've introduced you to one of our partners. And I'm going to bring him back because he has some really amazing projects. Folks, I'll be transparent just for one moment here. Okay. I took a portion, I've invested it, and this is bringing $3,300 a month passive. I don't have to, let me rephrase that. Of course, I work for the money to get, but once the money's invested, the money's working for me. This is my point. And this is also a direction I want to take this year is let's make some money, but let's just not spend it and pay taxes with it. Take this money, invest it so that money can work for you, get tax deduction in the same time. We also introduce you to a great accountant that many of you are utilizing. And a lot of my friends and families are utilizing because they're amazing. And we want to bring this to you, but you also need to make some money. So Tammy, let's go back to the recruiting action. And I know there's 3 levels of recruiting, and I need you to identify yourself within those 3 levels. There's no bad levels as long as you're comfortable with those levels and you understand where you are. Okay, so Tammy, back to you.
All right, so we're going to go into the levels. There's a minimalist achiever, and this level represents an individual who engages in minimal actions but still achieves results. They're going to focus on efficiency and simplicity, accomplishing tasks with a strategic and deliberate approach. So the goal with the minimalist, and pick one of these, you guys. We don't honestly. I'm a go-getter and I'm tough love. So I'm going to say, you know what, if you think you're a minimalist, I'm going to say, no, you have to step up one shot and go into momentum, right? But you make that decision. You have to make that decision for yourself and create that routine. Okay. So that's 1 hour a day, 3 days a week in that 1 hour, the goal is prospecting. Now you're going to put more than 1 hour 3 days a week. That's only 3 hours in a whole week in your business. I mean, somebody who's doing minimal should be doing at least 8 to 10 hours if they join Max as a business, right? I mean, if you wanted to be a customer, you might as well just be a customer. And I'm just straight up, right? So it's important that you're going to be putting these power hours of talking to new people. You have to talk to new people. That's the only way to go into momentum. The only way. All right. And the second is to focus. So you're going to set a timer. You're going to prioritize making connections. That's it. That should be your focus. Easy peasy for all of us. Guess what? Holidays are over. Following up with people, seeing how their holidays went. Happy New Year. As they respond, they're going to say the same thing back to you because I got all these responses back today after our 1 hour power. And that's when the conversation begins. You want to find out where they're at, what their goals are. Are they looking for something that can help them get there quicker? In these conversations to get them to have a look. The goal is to get them to have a look. And maybe they're not feeling well. What a great opening to see if, they're taking the right things to increase their immune system. So that's the minimalist achiever. So write that down if that's something that you think that you can do. All right. That's the minimal, you guys. There's no lower. Okay. Okay. Level 2 is steady momentum performer. So this level signifies individuals who take moderate actions consistently, and they maintain a steady pace always. That's actually Chris and I. We're pretty steady pace people. And then every once in a while, we'll get this 30-day run or this drive, and then we just run and we'll bring in, quite a few people. And then we start working with those people. That's pretty well what most people are going to do in here. Okay, so this would be the routine of 1 hour a day, 4 days a week. So you want to schedule yourself 4 days in a week that you're going to do that 1 hour power hour of consistent with setting a timer with consistently making connections with people. And you want to emphasize steady and continuous efforts in networking. We are in a networking business. We're networking with people. We're connecting with people. We're building relationships. We're making those connections for people to know, like, and trust us so we can move forward and see if they might have an interest in what you're up to. All right. So that's level 2. So think of that. If you think that you're level 2, you want to write that down. Okay. Where are the superstars here? The rising star dynamos. I know you guys can do this in a 30-day. If you really, really, really wanted it, you can make it happen. You just figure it out. Okay. So this level embodies individuals who are highly productive and take dynamic actions, even when you're tired. I was really tired today, you guys. I was up earlier than normal. I was constantly today following up, doing the things I needed to do to connect with new people all day long. And it's not over yet. And you got to make that decision. You do it till you just can't do it anymore. And then you do the next day. And you know what? 30 days will change everything if you have the ability to stay focused for 30 days. And I know you can if you really wanted to. You have to really want to do this. They're on a fast track to success, consistently pushing boundaries. That's what I'm talking about, pushing boundaries. I would have rather had a nap, a good nap, and rapidly ascending to new heights in their pursuit. So that's somebody who really, really, really wants to make this happen. The rising stars. You know, you see this all the time. Brand new person comes in and you don't know what they can do. And then bang, all of a sudden they're stars. It happens all the time. I mean, over the years, we've seen many people just flourish. Well, that's because they're ready. They're ready to run. So routine, you guys, not so bad in the prospecting 1 hour power hour, 6 times a week, 6 days. Okay. And then the focus obviously intensifies because you're going to set your timer and you're going to put more hours in the day. You can do this 2-3 times a day if you want. If you're really hungry, you know, if you're not talking to enough people, then you need to be doing this. Set a timers, get focused. Nobody around. You just got to be totally focused in an environment that you're so in the zone. Okay. So that is the rising star. So there's 3 levels here. And you get to choose which one that you're going to run for the next 30 days. Okay, so that's the where we're at right now with running with this.
So back to the question, if I may just ask Tammy, is, you know, if you want, if you want to evolve, right? Ask yourself if what you're doing right now, will it take you there? And all of you answered that. So that's why we're giving you, first of all, the guidelines for you to measure, okay, where do you want to be in the ladder of growth? And that's entirely up to you, right? If you want to achieve your goals, folks, you need to increase your commitment. And this is really important. See, everybody has their goals, but the commitment's down here. And that has to match. If the gap is too large, the goal is not going to be reached. Okay. And I know that a lot of us think, well, you know, I can't convert people. People don't want to sign up. It is, and all the excuses on the tables are there. And I justify, they're justifiable. But I'm telling you, folks, the key is consistency, congruency. People respect that. And that's what we want to help you with. Now, Tammy, did you want to talk about the accountability before I talk about some of the steps, or you want me to go to the steps and then back to the accountability?
Well, let's just go right into the accountability, Chris, because that's part of the 20 and 30. And so the accountability is everybody choose a partner, not your spouses, you guys. This doesn't work. So it can't be your spouse. It's somebody that's higher that will motivate you, inspire you, kick your butt, and keep you accountable. So you'll be connecting with them regularly, handing in your accountability report, which each one of you guys are going to print up and have ready. And every Sunday, whoever's you're accountable to, you're going to be sending that to them. You're going to fill it out and send it to them. Okay, so that they can review. And I find when I'm working with people, when they hand in the sheet, I know where they're at with all of this, and I know where to go on the sheet to guide somebody where they need to improve on. At the end of the day, we all need to improve. Okay, so and it's not to judge you, but to help get to that next level and find out what it is that's holding people back. Okay, so accountability is so important. That's how you evolve. We're accountable to Eric Worre, so we have to do the things that he tells us to do. Otherwise, I mean, you don't want to be called out with Eric Worre. So anyways, all that to say is you got to be accountable, all right, in doing the things that we're asking you to do. And then next month, it's going to be a little bit juicier, a little bit more out of your comfort zone, but we got to play right now and get back in the game and build this up. Okay, so make sure that you're part of the accountability team group, which you're all familiar with. I don't really have to go through too much with that. Some of you are doing it Monday to Friday. I think that's awesome. Last year, we started the 7 and the 9:30, the noon, not too many people got on, and the evening, same thing. It started, but it kind of fell off. But I put some commitments that I'm willing to do with the group. And over and above that, you guys have the link. You can do your Monday to Friday. If you decide, you know what, I'm just going to get on and do it. I don't know, 2 or 3 times more during that day, and just let the team know. And maybe somebody wants to get on, right? And be accountable too.
So when it comes to the accountability aspect of, first of all, choosing your partner, that's number one. We'll come back to that at the end on the call to action. Number 2 is now we have these sessions, and we'll describe them at the end of this call for you to participate. And it's very important that this is not a session of chit chat. Nobody should be chit chat about conspiracy theory and all this stuff. None of that. That will not feed your pockets. It's just going to burn your time. So it's important that when you are in these sessions, that you are there to do the work. Okay. So if you tend to say or talk, or you're doing a phone call or doing a follow-up, just mute yourself so it doesn't disturb, the course of the 1 hour. So this is something that Tammy is going to be doing to add on to help you fill that 1 hour at least twice a week. Okay. At least twice a week. But of course, we don't have to hold you by the hand. Many of you have been in this business for as long as Tammy and I have been. So the key is to be accountable, and these sessions are there to complement your efforts. So one thing that, Tammy, I suggest we come back to that. Right now, I just want to go through the stage of recruiting, because this is very, very important. Eric talked about that on day 1. I think it was in the afternoon, I believe. And I just want to recite the 8 steps that he talked about and point you to where you can get the training in the event that maybe you feel rusty in those areas. So number 1 is to finding prospects. And we'll talk about, okay, how do you do that? We do have some modules called Prospecting Masteries. There's many different aspects to go about this. But at the end of the day, you got to get off the comfort zone here and talk to people. There's no magical pill. There's no magical button. You need to go and talk to people. And these connections that Tammy will share with you how to go about it at the end of the session, it's not to sell the opportunity, to sell the product or anything like that. It's to make a connection. Hey, how are you, so and so? We're in the new year. Just wanted to check up on you. Whatever you feel is appropriate. You know the people, and if you don't know the people, there's a lot of different things that we can work around, especially within the social media environment. Today, to be honest with you, there is no reason for not having anybody to talk to. It's just you don't want to do the work, because with social media, it's not a hard thing to do. All you need to do is start posting and commenting on other people's posts, and you'll be surprised on the response you get, and you can start building relationship from there. But number one is finding prospects. Very first thing we do. Number two is, all business is conversion, right? And the key is to convert. As you make a connection, then you want to convert. It's going to be pivoted by it could be a video that you're sending to them. It could be presentations. We have these presentations that are going on 3 times a week, one in English, one in Spanish, and one in French. And they're your calls, and it's working. I see the people are showing up, and some of you are utilizing that. And by the way, Tammy and I are going to start doing a live Max presentation every Saturdays. And I believe we determined this to be at either 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Anyway, I'll confirm the details. But I'm telling you, Tammy, are very aggressive for the month of January, and we're going to continue with that. And any one of you who want to be part of this, I suggest you plug in. But the fact is to make a connection and do a conversion through a tool that will help deal with a pain point where there's an issue, a problem. And many of you may want to lead with the product, and that's totally cool. In fact, in December, I sponsored let me rephrase that. I got 2 customers. Actually, one associate that's really a glorified associate, a glorified customer. He's an associate, but he wanted to order 2 max 1 a month, and another person that came through a lead, right? So that was in December. So I'll do the same thing in January, in February, and that's the point, okay? Started with a conversation, then share information. And for me, I have a funnel, a capture page, and I send that to them. They look at the information. For you, it might just be a presentation, a link to a presentation, whatever that is. And then from that point on it can just also be any kind of events, right? I know that Max is starting to do some things on Thursdays, and now they're going to start doing some network marketing aspect. It's not just going to be the learn to earn. It's just not going to be just about product information and product knowledge, but the whole package. And this is what the call is going to be with Joe, with some incentives and or sort of things that are going to be provided to help you grow your business. Okay, so these are the points that he talked about. The other thing that's important here is keep in mind there's 3 languages, right? We have English, we have Spanish, and we have French. And one of the great thing with Max is we have a lot of maturity. We have a lot of tools that are out there. You just need to pick one that you feel is appropriate for you, right? And you want to keep the conversation going. That's why following up is critical. Once the person has looked at the information, you don't let them sit there and wander around and hope to get back to you. If you do that, you will starve. What you need to do is you need to organize a follow-up process and a deadline for you to follow up with the person. Yes, very often you will chase people, but that's how you know who's interested, who's not interested. And there's a lot of process on how to chase people, matter speaking, through the module, which I'll come back into, which we have for you, which we're done, right? These are like constants, right? The gravity doesn't change. It's 100 million years ago or last year or yesterday. The gravity has not changed. It's just one of those constants. While the trainings that we've provided to you are those constants. It's not going to change, right? You want to keep the conversation going. Once the person is ready to start, don't talk them out of it, but get into a process of enrolling them. Either become a customer, a preferred customer, or become an associate and just order products. Sometimes there's going to be some promotions. It may cost nothing for them to sign up just with some product orders. That's a great opportunity to enroll some customers. And again, it's entirely up to you. And in fact, if I may share this with you here, just going to share my screen for 1 second where you can access this information. Okay, so I'm going to break this down here. Okay, so this is the active team board. Okay, so over here you have the onboarding process, right? So getting started people right is very important. So on the onboarding process, you have the first steps, and then we have different aspects on, do you want to work the strategy of 631s or you want to use the prime? It's entirely up to you. Both of them are good strategies. There's different intensity, and this is in line with your recruiting activities for the month of January. Okay, so this again, very step one. And then second step, a product information, follow-up, all of these, it's all here. Okay, it's all there. And from there, um, just looking at my notes here. Oh, yeah. What's also important is you have access to past trainings. Okay. So if you go here and you go through the success cycle, right? And right over here, success cycle video trainings, we have them all here, starting with the success cycle training and then the associate orientation, the attitude, building your list, the prospecting, crafting your story, the art of invitation, the following up, third party credibility, especially the really important here is prospecting, crafting your story. Well, they're all important actually, right? The art of inviting, this is really important. Following up, 90% of your business will come in and a follow up, and most people don't follow up. That's the reason most people don't convert. And this is the module here, which the third party validation is another form of following up. Really, really important. So all the trainings are there for you, and it's important you take advantage of that. So we call it prospecting mastery, or the art of following, the art of inviting, and then inviting, and then following up, and third party credibility. These are very important module. So if you say, well, how do I find leads? How do I find leads? Listen to these trainings, because it will give you clues and directions for you to take to basically initiate your recruiting activities. Okay. Let me just stop the screen share here for a moment. Okay. So everything is available for you. And I hope that you're going to do your homework. At least, let me put the link here for you. And I'm just going to copy this link and put it right into, and I know that many of you have this already. We will like take you there. Just want to confirm. Yeah, it will take you there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you're not part of that board, I really, really, really recommend that you connect to this board. So every time we add something, then you can actually be in line with whatever we added to help you build your business. But there's also other lessons that are in there, right? For example, the 4 core belief, the 10 step to success. I've mentioned earlier the crafting your story, handling objections. Um, there's also a list building with Eric Worre. It's on the board. It's probably in the initial steps. It's right there. It's really, really, really helpful. So, folks, there's nothing missing other than you doing the activities that you can incorporate into your daily tasks as you build your business. And I highly recommend that you don't get stuck in the past with the challenges. Like Tammy say, let go of the challenges. That's the past. Today is a new day. It's a new year. We have products right now. I would really focus on the Celgivity. I love the Meta Switch. I order that on a regular basis. In fact, every single month, I love all of my products. We ordered all of them, and they're all arriving. So we have the 357, the Max One, the Celgivity, and the Switch, the Meta Switch. We have them all. So as soon as it's in the US, it'll be in Canada. So work at it, guys. Don't get handicapped by the past. Move forward. Build your business. Get us involved. Let's do some 3 ways together. This is all the process on how you build a business. You try to build it alone, it's harder. If you build it with a team, you'll find that even your team members will feel more comfortable. Just this accountability call, I'll pass it over to Tammy so she can talk about it. Take advantage of that. Right? For Max International, Tammy's going to be doing 2 calls a week. So Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you and dealing with the accountability to help people fill in their hour twice a week. Go ahead.
All right, so going into the assignment, so you want to choose your level. Did you guys put your level in the chat, or you could even just share that with your sponsor? And if your sponsor is not active, you go up in the team and get support. Okay, and so there's that. There's choose your accountability partner. And you make sure you have your sheets ready to go every week because you want to fill in your sheet. Because if you're not making money, you got to look at these sheets. I mean, it's like looking in the mirror, right? If you're not doing the activities, you're not talking to people, you're not inviting anybody to presentations or sending anybody links, or then you can't expect to go into any type of momentum. So it's just a matter of working those sheets really, really hard. Okay, and that's it. And the accountability groups, which you're already part of. I believe everybody here, if you're not, the sheet, I put it up on the Telegram group. Did I put it up on the active team messenger group as well? I think I did. And it's got all the information. Okay, so
If not,
tomorrow.
we'll add it in. But I just put it in the chat, Tammy. So
All
you
right.
have Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 to 8, with your link. And it's
Mm.
the Zoom link that's there. Please take note of that. If you happen to be on Facebook Live and you want to join us, I'll be putting all that information in the comment section once the call is uploaded. Back to you,
Yeah,
Tammy.
and the sheet that I sent out there is the protocols and obviously the dates and the times for the sessions. And I'll be doing a lot of stuff in between as well. And I highly recommend, if you have a group that you can reignite going into 2024, get that January schedule nailed down with them, create some excitement, let them know what they missed on this session, and bring them into the culture of all of this. And you're gonna duplicate the momentum, right? So the more people you personally have on these sessions and growing with the group, the more successful you'll become. It's all about the power of duplication. It's not you pushing that snowball up the hill. Is there snowballs now? You guys get snow? Not
No
yet?
snowballs yet. Everything is
Okay,
melting.
no
What about in
snowballs.
Quebec City, Sylvie
Okay.
or Lucy? Is there snow on your end?
Well, we're going to be getting a storm tonight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you can do some snowballs tomorrow. But
I listen to
anybody else,
Canadian
just a
news.
concept, right? At the beginning, when you're new, it's always pushing that ball up the hill. And it's always heavy. And you've got the resistance, right? Going up the hill. But I'm telling you, when you got two other people helping you push that ball up the hill, and then you got 3 or 4 more people, and 10 people, and 20 people, how fast is that ball gonna go up to the top of the hill? Quite fast, because you got lots of power behind you and with you. So it's now, sometimes it may feel like you're back in that pushing the ball up the hill. But it's what we got to do, right? We got to get back to pushing that ball up the hill and seeing, okay, who's on board? Who wants to push the ball up the hill? Because once we get it up there, man, oh man, we're going to celebrate.
And remember, when you talk about pushing the ball up the hill, talk about the benefits. Right?
Yeah.
It's not
Lots
just
of
about
benefits.
working.
Yeah,
It's about
because once
benefiting
it's
from the
there,
work.
it's like momentum, right?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
one thing, folks, is, Max International, it's one of those companies that Tammy and I have really done well, and they pay well. And we give wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product. There's regardless of how you evolve into your business and where you choose and directions you take, there's one thing that you can't negotiate. It's your health. Your health is everything. Without it, what's the point, right? So the fact here is what we have is an important niche, a very important niche. You can never go wrong, ever go wrong. And this is how you present it. And this is why we're constantly sponsoring, constantly introducing new customers all the time. This product, for me, it's part of my bloodstream. It's it is so important. I mean, so important. And the way I come across, it comes across my belief. And the fact is, my belief is not just a make believe. I've been living it for years, and I've seen it for years. We can testify it for years. And I know that's the same for you. So, whatever doubt you may have at the moment, that's last year. Let's start the new year. Let's move forward and let's run with this. Now, you probably noticed in the group, I've put the agenda on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tammy will be available. It's the same Zoom link that most of you are aware of. If you're not aware of, take note of it. Again, if you happen to be on Facebook Live, I will put that in the comment. So please come back to it and get it later. And also the Telegram group. I've noticed the Telegram group, it's very, 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 very quiet, right? Participate, folks. Share some insights. If you have any questions or anything like that, or whatever it is, take advantage of these groups and these Facebook groups, the glutathione group, the Metaswitch group. I know that Mireille has posted some wonderful content in the Metaswitch group, right? And I've noticed Sylvie has been commenting, and I'm paying attention. It'll be wonderful if you can all participate and encourage. If you don't want to do it, that's totally cool, but encourage the people that are pushing. You know, I got off the wagon with my my training, and I'm getting back on it. I'm working hard. It's frustrating, and
So
every
then,
time,
yeah.
every 5 years, I don't know what it is. I eat less. I try to be careful, but for some damn reason, I gain more. So it's something that we have to deal with. So the one thing that works, I can tell you, for me, is to move around, move around, move around, lift weights, and that's what works for me.
And you don't
So
eat enough protein. It's
yeah,
the
I know.
protein. Yeah.
We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later. I know. I got to stay away from those damn chips. But anyway, so folks, listen, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. But Tammy, do you have anything else that you wanted to share as we end? Because I know that we have an assignment. I'd like to underline the assignment. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the assignment I already shared with everybody, Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, folks, very important here is choose your accountability partner,
Mhm.
right? And take part of the amount of time that you want to build this business. We share you the 3 different categories, and join the accountability groups. Very, very important. And join the Facebook groups and the Telegram group, and be part. And and try not just to always be on the sideline, folks, but try to take a front kind of a lead on things, and to comment and participate. And one thing on Facebook is that if you never comment on anybody's post, Facebook will not promote your posts. It'll be very quiet. But if you start posting at other people's comments, the algorithm recognizes that you like posts and that you're active. And whenever you post something, then more people will see what it is you do. It's sad a little bit, but it's the way it is. So you have to participate if you want to have results. Okay. So everybody have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. If you happen to be on Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. And we will see you and talk to you next Monday. And keep in mind that on this week, I believe that Max International will be making some quick announcements on some calls that are starting with our CEO, and some updates that are coming up that I think will be very useful in line to building our business, especially for the month of January. Okay, everybody. Bye for now.